What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Screen Fiend. I'm Pam. This is episode 5 of the Lyle and Erik Menendez story. I'm really curious to see what the remaining episodes are going to be about. I know some of it's going to be on the court, like during the court time, but I'm wondering if they're going to go a little bit more into the backstory of what was going on between the boys and their parents. Yeah, so let's get into it. That sound. Okay, so maybe this episode is gonna be Erik's side to the story, since they're starting off with Erik here, and they start off with Lyle, the previous one.
Sorry. You don't smoke, do you?
No, never.
Good. And Erik, I'm sorry about what we have to talk about now.
Okay.
All right, let's get into it.
Talk to Lyle.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Lyle's lawyer, Jill, was there too, and I actually asked Jill if I could just come talk to you alone today.
Oh, okay.
Can you?
Sure.
I just need you right now, if you can, to just tell me everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can. Well, it kind of seems like it was always happening, because, I was always afraid of him.
Your dad or Lyle?
My dad. I was never afraid of Lyle. I always felt like Lyle was my,
Protector?
protector.
Even when he was abusing you?
Yeah. He wasn't.
Jeez Louise.
I just mean that, like, my earliest memories are of running away.
I just need to see the comparison of this. This is crazy and outrageous.
Get to my aunt's house, just a few blocks down. But as far as when it started, Lyle thinks I was 6, and that seems right.
Well, that's when your father started with him.
Right.
So that makes some sense.
It didn't start out bad, you know?
Yeah.
It would just be after tennis or after swimming, and, well, I knew that my dad didn't like me.
How do you mean?
What, as a
He
kid?
was always so mean.
Jeez.
He loved Lyle, but he didn't love me, and I could tell, but he would also say it. He'd call me these names, and they were just...
What kind of names?
Just stuff you shouldn't say to a kid, like...
Maybe you saw how innocent and soft he was.
Stupid or fat.
You know how men don't like that.
And so then you're always trying to impress him or to not make him mad. And my mom she would do it too. They would gang up on me. Like, if I said I was scared of the closet, they'd lock me in the closet until I stopped screaming. And, they were laughing, so I knew I wasn't gonna die, but still, it was just like, why would you do that? He was, well, at first he was, like he was finally nice, like to see that side of him where he was,
Tender.
yeah, because it was like he could stop being mad when no one else was there. But around everyone else, and even when family was over, he would just call you those names, or he would hit you, and everyone saw it. But when it was just you and him, that's when he would,
When people shouldn't be parents?
What?
That's when he'd tell me that he loved me.
What?
All the other stuff hadn't started yet, and so it was just, like, time being with my dad, where I felt like he cared about me. And, it was just me and him. And that was good. Like, those were my favorite memories.
You would bring the
And then
kid.
the massages changed.
You bring the kid down and bring him up so he could feel quote unquote safe with you.
Yes.
So you could do the nasty things.
He would say, turn over.
But then tear him down.
He would do my front.
And by friend.
He'd massage my
What?
penis.
Oh, at a
And so we'd fondle each
6-year-old.
other. And so there were 4 different kinds of sex with my dad. There was nice, which was the massages came before, but then when he started making me use my mouth, it was too big, and I
Ugh.
didn't like that.
Yeah.
And doing that to him just seemed really dirty. And when he did it to me, that was But to him, he called them naked mouth massages. Doing that to him felt really dirty.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. He'd take a slat from underneath the bed and he'd put it under the doorknob so that, and I would cry and it hurt. And he'd say, you know, why can't you be like Lyle?
Excuse me?
Menendez, and get used to it.
The mother.
And I just...
The mother
I remember
allowed
feeling
this.
so disappointed
It's
because
disgusting.
he was comparing us again, Lyle and me, like
How often did this happen?
they're just sex. Like 2 or 3 times a month.
From when?
Like junior high, I think.
So 11.
Mm-hmm.
Until
Damn.
Right before.
right before they died
Yeah,
Was
just a
the-
few months before.
was the last time.
How old is Erik here? Like 18, 19? 18, 19.
You were hundreds
Repeatedly.
of times by your father.
Good shit.
And what was rough sex like?
I would have told my grandmother. I would have told my uncle, my cousins,
Just
police.
hitting and really painful. He would get mean and he would punch me and he was really strong.
Like drowning him in the water
I
from the
couldn't,
previous episode.
I don't know why, but for some reason I just could never hit him back. And it was like when I was little, when I was running away, like it just doesn't work. I just don't think that's what a father's supposed to,
No, they're not.
No, it's
That's
not.
not
like
what they're
that's not
supposed
what
to
you
do.
do to someone you
You don't do it to any
that's what you do to
child.
someone you hate, you know?
Eric,
And you don't even do it to a man if you're
All these
seeing him sodomizing men and stuff. What the fuck?
Say that would somehow hurt even more,
like what?
Like, I just wanted to say to him, like, if I'm such a faggot, then why are you asking me to fuck you in the ass? You know? Like, that's, you know,
What?
I don't know.
No, what were you
No,
gonna
I don't.
say?
No, I don't. No. To have that thought laying alone in here in a cell at night, all cooped up in here, and to have that be the thought you're left thinking,
What
like
thought?
like that I love my dad, like that's, like it wasn't the rough sex and the pins and the rope that were the torture, like that would be the torture, to still love him.
I'm just blown away by you, Erik Menendez.
You don't have, you shouldn't say
No,
that.
I mean it. I really, really do. Really do. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of very impressive people. And you are right at the top. With everything you have been through and what you have had to do, you don't have to forgive him. Your father. Okay? My father wasn't 1/10 of 1/1,000,000th of a percentage as bad as yours. Okay, just no comparison.
Right.
And my brother, he's forgiven him. You know, he talks to him.
Wow.
Erik, no fucking way will I forgive him for what he did. Not now, not ever. And I just say that because you have that option too. Where was your mother in all this?
Well,
Thank
see,
you.
'cause
Okay, but let's not make excuses
he
for
cheated
her.
on her.
Who
And Lyle said he
cares?
walked out on them one time and my dad was raping her.
Okay, well, that's still...
My dad ruined her life, I think. When I was 16, she started doing this thing where, because I think by then the stuff with dad was intense, and my mom would do this thing where she would inspect my,
Penis?
yeah. And,
At 16?
she'd be like, why do you shave it all? And I'd be like, no, dad did that, but I couldn't say that because, well...
At
it
16,
was
your
weird
mother shouldn't
because
even be
we were
looking at your
close, but
body
then
at 16.
Dad also had these girlfriends, and so I think that she also thought that I was too.
Was what?
Like that I was sleeping with dad. So she would do the inspections, right? Like she would do these inspections of my, because she was terrified of AIDS, and she would always check me for blisters, like on my penis. And I think it was because it was a way to see if like,
Early
I
90s.
think she knew that dad and I were, so that, you know, if one of dad's girlfriends had some,
Why would she think you would get AIDS.
Because she thought he was
And before
gay?
you answer that, I just want to say that I am not your mother, okay? And frankly, I don't like your mother.
Yeah, but
I'm
she was
sorry.
actually-
No,
she-
that's not a mother, Eric.
Thank
Okay,
you.
and I am a mother. But for her to have known and to have not intervened.
Yes, because
Right.
she
No,
was.
but I'm sorry, let me just say this and we can go back because there were a lot of avenues that she could have taken there.
Thank you.
Okay? Where she could have gone to the authorities, where she could have said, no, not my sons, you will not abuse my sons, right? And that's a pretty low bar, okay?
Yup.
She didn't do that. So for you to, yes, you can love her. Yes, you can sympathize with her. And I
course.
want to ask you something, but I just want to say this to you, and I would say it to Lyle. You deserved better than her. Can you tell me why she thought you had AIDS? Can you just tell me?
Did he have sex with other men?
I don't know what way you are, and what way you're supposed to be when that's your childhood. Like when that's what your dad's doing to you. Like,
So you having sex with other men?
well, I remember one time my mom, she called Lyle and me, and I don't know if she meant it, but she screamed at us like, "You're sociopaths." And a part of me was like, well, maybe we are sociopaths. But like, I don't know if it's me or how I was supposed to be. I was kind of in love with a boy,
Ah, see.
or like a teenager like me who's a boy.
Okay.
But it's
Okay,
because I
just
was
say a
having
boy.
sex with my dad, you know, like that's not normal. And that made me not normal. And so he wasn't, he didn't, this boy, he didn't have a dad who did that to him. He was just always that way. But I'm not sure I was, and I'm not sure I am, but like I have those feelings.
Okay.
No, I actually, I don't think you,
No, I understand.
no, I think you think I'm saying something different than I am. Like, yes, I've done certain things, and so, you know, you're gonna say I'm one way, and you're gonna tell everyone I'm one way, but I'm
No,
not.
I'm not.
I'm actually, no.
I'm not gonna tell anyone.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I'm just saying I don't know. Okay, I don't know. And yeah, maybe I am a sociopath, and maybe I should have got AIDS, and maybe I'll only like it this way because with girls,
What?
it was like, how could I even know when he's done this to me? When it's been happening for so long, I don't remember when it started. When I can't remember a time when my dad wasn't fucking me. Like, he broke me. I'm a broken person. I am the hurt man.
What is the hurt man? That's the name for yourself.
Yes,
Since when you were little.
for as long as I can remember. That's what I call myself. I shot my mom in the face. And my dad, I think. That's not a normal thing you do.
No, it's not,
So-
baby.
I don't know what I am. And I don't think I'll ever know. I will never really know who I am if I don't get out of here. I'll never know.
So that was the episode. This episode was so simple, but a lot at the same time. Before I get into some of the details of the episode, the way they shot this episode was so brilliant. I don't know, I really loved it. First of all, there were no cuts at all. They literally just had these two talking and slowly zooming into Erik. You know, a lot of people are really onto the actor that plays Lyle. And I think because the first couple of episodes, he was very like out there and he's handsome, his body is everything. But I feel like nobody's giving props to this actor. There were no breaks. There were no breaks. There's no cuts that I saw in this episode. And he read those lines like that. That was beautiful. I loved it. I just kept looking and I'm like, wait a minute. There's no different shots. There's no different angles. It's just him and the lawyer just talking. Him really talking. and just zooming in. Wow. He said a lot. He said a lot of shit, and it was extremely disturbing. Um, Again, I am just talking about the series. I don't know anything about what happened in real life. So what I'm saying is what I'm saying based off the episode. Okay? I understand that there's some things that did not happen in real life. I know that. I'm just saying, I'm just going off the episode. Um, yeah, that was disturbing. And you know what's funny? There's a lot of people talk about sexual molestation, rape and things like that when it comes to women. Even to this day in 2024, a man or a boy being gets pushed to the wayside. I'm gonna say something. Um, I live in New York, right? I live in New York City. I live in the Bronx. I live in one of the better neighborhoods. I can tell you that much. However, about a month and a half ago, right? About a month and a half ago, down that way where I live, about, I would say, a half a mile that way, a 13-year-old boy got raped by another man. And I heard one thing about it. Just that. You didn't hear anything else about it. I never even heard of that before then. That's ever happened like that in this neighborhood. A 13-year-old boy down there. And then you don't hear anything anymore. And it's sad when young boys or young men get AR'd, I shouldn't say rape, but AR'd or essayed, and people don't take them seriously. Erik was talking about the things that were happening to him in this episode, right? And that he actually ran away. But he couldn't get away from his brother or his father because whoever he told them may not have believed him. And that's the problem. That is the problem. I feel like people do somewhat believe, but it's so taboo for a boy, they just kind of like brush it off. Like I said before, the things that he was saying was so disturbing, where his father was doing these things, oh, massage with my mouth, his knee time. I think he said knee something, where he pretty much gets on his knees and, do whatever he does. The reason for the objects that his father was using on him was to open him and Lyle up. Just disgusting. And opening him up and prepping him. I don't know if he was doing that as the years go by, so when he gets older, then he can really, do what he really wants to do to those boys. It's disgusting. You're sick in the fucking head. And the thing is that not only just little boys deal with that, but young men as well. Right? It's just, and it's sad. It's a lot of people out there. You know how many families are out here where there's a child that actually there's so many families where there's children getting essayed by their family members. It's so fucking disgusting. And they're babysitters. They're babysitters. I have a friend that happened to. But because it wasn't another man, it was like whatever. Disgusting. The fact that he was confused, I don't know if he was confused when he was talking about being with another man because his mom was checking to see if he had, the AIDS. You know what I mean? When he said that, I knew that maybe he was sleeping with somebody else outside of his, family, his brother and his father. But when he was talking about how he really liked it with the guy, I don't know if he was just like, he really is sexually attracted to men, or because he was so used to it that's where he kind of said it. Well, it was normal. But when he did have sex with the other man, it was nice to him, but he wasn't sure if he liked women or not. I know in real life, Erik has a daughter. Um, I can't wait to see that documentary because this kind of like throws me off a little bit. Um, it was a lot that he was saying, and I was trying to retain everything, but that's just hard to do. This thing was literally like maybe 30 minutes of him just going to town. Um, he didn't go too much into Lyle, what Lyle was doing to him. Um, which I understand. I think he's just kind of being protective when it comes to Lyle. But then him and Lyle having sex as they were getting older, and his mom catching him was just like a lot. And maybe because it was happening to them at the same age, they were both 6 when it started. Lyle knew that he liked women, but Erik was kind of confused. Maybe Erik just was, curious or whatever. Some people are just straight. Some people are just gay, and there are people who are completely open, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine. First of all, I don't care. I don't understand why people care what anybody's doing in their bedrooms anyway. So if you're gay or you're curious or whatever, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. It is what it is. But he was just conflicted of like what's right and what's wrong. Back to the mom. It's just the mom, and of course they can't defend themselves because they're dead. But it's just like, as a person who has you're pregnant, you have a human growing inside of you, you give birth to your baby, you take care of your baby, and they grow up, and you see somebody hurting them, regardless of who it is, they're hurting them, and you sit back and you don't say nothing. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't have children, but I can imagine. I could imagine what I would do for my babies. I don't know if I can have children. I know I'm going to adopt at one point, but even if I adopted kids, I would never. Never. The fact that the mother did nothing is mind-boggling. I talked about her before. What was it? Was it just your lifestyle that you didn't want to go take away from you? Were you afraid of this man? What was it that you allowed this man to do that to both of your kids for years, from 6 to what, 18? That's 12 years. That's fucking disgusting. And I see why she got the brunt of the violence. They might not have realized it when they were doing it, but they were mad because she didn't stop it. That's why she got the most of it. Absolutely atrocious. Yeah. I wonder what's gonna happen in the next episode. You guys, when I say stuff like that, it's because I'm not looking at the synopsis. I'm not going back and I'm not going, oh, what's next episode? What's gonna happen? I don't do all of that. So I'm curious of what's gonna happen next episode. You could tell at the end he was just starting to get really uncomfortable. And you know what's funny? When the lawyer was talking and she was talking about her father, a lot of us don't have the best father. We just don't. My parents are married. My parents been married for, what's this year? My parents been married for 44 years. They've been together for 49 years. My parents have known each other all their lives, right? And my parents are in their 60s. My mother just turned 66 last Friday. And my dad is 67. And they had us very young. But I can tell you, my father wasn't very much involved. It is what it is. There's a lot of fathers out there like that. It's sad because it's passed on trauma. I'm very curious to know about their grandfather. I wonder. Because the uncle from what we get from this show, the uncle don't seem too twisted up. So I'm really curious to know their history, their father history, their uncle history with their grandfather. I'm very curious because it's like, to me, it's like passed on trauma, and it continues and continues unless somebody changes it. This was a good episode. What do you guys think? We can talk about it down below. I'll try to respond. You guys, I have so much stuff going on. So if I'm not able to talk, I'll heart your comments, and then I'll probably eventually go back and talk to you. But just let me know what you guys thought about this episode. And if you liked it, I didn't talk much, honestly. I was trying to like retain everything he was saying. But as he was talking, there was just things turning in my mind. So, yeah. If you like this video, again, like I didn't talk much, but if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo.